from the top. Oh no, no, he won't stop. Thalmor Radio. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Thalmor Radio.
Thalmor Radio.
Oh, what is up, every
they-
pony? My name is
they-
earlier. Shut up, bot. Welcome to the March 31st episode of Thalmor Radio. Cajun says, are you a fan of My Little Pony? I was a brony back 12 years ago when I was 12, 13 for like a year. Probably one of the cringiest parts of my life, but it's okay. It's over now. I am. Jesus Christ came into my life and cleansed me of my sins. Similarly, I have grown up out of that phase in my life. I don't know. It's the Hasbro show. Fuck it. I'm not getting into this. Fuck it. Old news, old time. You don't need that. You don't need that deep of lore on my history here. I have no internals. There is nothing. There is nothing going on in my life for me to discuss. There's nothing on the top of my mind that's not related to plugs and lore that I feel the need to share. There's nothing going on with the server. There's nothing going on. Yes, it was friendship with magic. Friendship is magic. I only ever watched like the first season and part of the second one, and then I got out of it. I can't believe there's 9 seasons. But anyways, the only thing about the server to say, I never watched the movie. I might watch the movie because at least then they're humanoid. So it's kind of less weird. Why? You know what? Fuck this. I'm no more My Little Pony talk. Never mind. The only differences to the server is I created a category for when Silicon Valley Bank fucked up, and a couple of banks did. I created a category dedicated to having a chat about the 2023 U.S. economic collapse. That is staying open because the ramifications of all this might still happen this year. So I consider it a big, persistent, in real life U.S. news event. Trump got indicted. I'm going to discuss that more later. But that's another thing where the ramifications and effects might play out over a longer period of time. So for these big U.S. events, these big ticket events, there's a separate chat for them. Maybe it's unnecessary, but it's there anyways. So go talk there if you feel compelled to. Alternatively, there's nothing else to talk about. And I can just go ahead and talk about the game because that's what we're here for anyways. You guys think I know something about how this game and the politics works for some reason. So I might as well bestow upon you my schizoid theory selling about it. First off is there's an alliance called Afterlife, and I think they were part of Paradise. I haven't bought. Can I pin that? That's funny. There's an alliance called Afterlife, and I think they were part of Paradise. Yeah, they were an alliance. They merged into Paradise. Kev stepped down. Sketchy took his place. Sketchy left Dark Brotherhood, took over Kev's place. And then the Afterlife community was like, GG, no re, and then reformed Afterlife. And the people I think are cool are upset about this for some reason because they all downloaded it. I have no opinion. Oh, and, I think Toxic is part of Afterlife. Afterlife is the Austin, Texas of Politics and War Laughs now, apparently. Oh, it was not all of Afterlife, just 20%. Well, that's still 3 people at least. So, Oh, and they became a protectorate under Eclipse, which is fine. Actually, I can talk about Eclipse here in a minute, anyways. So that's going on with the Afterlife. I have no opinions. There you go. There was a suggestion on the forums. Prefontaine posted the thread, and I need to pull this up on my phone because I actually need to go into it a bit more in depth here. But the suggestion was, look, why don't we bump, like, there's a 10-day cooldown timer to buy a city. That timer does not exist for City 1 to City 10 players. Prefontaine is suggesting that this be updated so that there is no timer up to City 15. And my initial reaction was, this sounds like bullshit. Why are we, like, on railroad tracks here, updating the game to, like, help newbies out in a world where most of the game is dominated by, like, City 20, 30, and 40 players? Like, who gives a shit about the City 10 people? And so Darkblade had the suggestion of, let's just get rid of the timer because fuck it. And that was compelling to me. And so I, in the thread, said, I am echoing Darkblade's suggestion. I'm just removing the timer completely. But then Rush commented, and I like what Rush said. Rush said, quote, okay, so peek into the back rooms here. This came up because some internal affairs peeps thinks it'll help streamline a conversion point from Tiny Raider to Functional Nation if the limit is at City 11 instead of City 10. Me and a couple other people expressed that we were going to fiddle with it. It should be moved to City 15 to be aligned with the other new player stuff, which is also at City 15. I am not a fan of dropping it entirely, though. While in practice, money is the normal limiter, the cooldown does prevent some cheesy stunt like down declaring and buying multiple cities, which is still possible below City 10 and happens a fair bit where someone will sell down hit targets and rebuild cities for basically free with project benefits. Also, for bank thefts, it prevents a tapped offshore dumping its money into cities and also allowing the robbed some time to try to recover things. That is compelling to me. So I am amending, and I should probably say this in the thread, I am no longer against removing the cooldown timer because I think Rush makes some good points here. So I guess moving to City 15 is probably okay. I mean, there is so much from a design point that probably needs to be fixed anyways that, like, bumping it to City 15 probably doesn't hurt, like, a whole lot, TBH, fam. Well, Kiwi says, game's fucked, whatever. That's basically where I'm at. I mean, let me double check. I don't think anyone in the thread, nobody in the thread really has a compelling counter argument to it. So yeah, move it to City 15 and keep the timer. Sorry, Darkblade. What else is there? Oh, so Alex did like a live stream or something. I don't know what. Alex did a live stream and got some people on. And you had an alliance called Mayhem. And either Mayhem changed their alliance name or Alex changed it. But whatever happened, there was a Hand of Fate member who stole the name from Mayhem. And that's just really funny. I think it was a Hand of Fate member. Pimpika, was it a Hand of Fate member? I thought it was one of ours. I could be wrong. Yeah, it was one of ours. It was Alexios. Gotcha. Alexios, absolute king, steals Mayhem. And Alex seethes about it. Alex then renames it to like Alex Mad or something. Because, of course, it's Alex's own fuck up. And I don't know. Whatever. But I thought it was funny. Who was Type one in chat if you were around, I think back in like 2017 when Alex accidentally moved every nation in the game to Rose. Only me and Zig? I know Zig was playing then. Kiwi was around. Okay, there's a lot of youngsters here, so I'm going to give a refresh here. This was back in, I think, 2017. I think it was 2017. I could be wrong. But basically, Alex was like he was trying to add in some kind of new mechanic of some kind. And in the process of trying to implement it or experiment with it, he moved every nation in the game to Rose. So Rose had like 5,000 members. And it only lasted for like a little bit. I thought it was funny. I think it was every nation CCT. Because the joke was that like everyone was in like a Rose member. But I thought it was funny. So Hand of Fate has been. So here's the thing: like all the naps that applied to Hand of Fate expired, and we've made our rebuild back. So what this means is that like whatever incentives we have to not be unhinged is like gone now. So like if you play Victoria 2, you might be familiar of the crisis mechanic, in which if two nations have some kind of dispute over territory or something, there's a crisis meter that goes on, and it's like I think it lasts for like a year in game, 365 days or 365 ticks. And what happens is if there's no kind of resolution to the crisis, then a big war breaks out. So like the Orbis crisis meter is now slowly filling because and our like collective psychosis is gradually increasing for every week we go without conflict. And this has manifested two ways thus far. Number one is ARG began to raid the Lost Empire, and I believe a couple of like smaller Hand of Fate members also got involved. That's like the small story. The big story is that we've actually been fucking with United UMOD, the Muslim Alliance. What happened was Vass is trying to, like, you have to get an outlet somewhere, right? So Vass is spy killing UU. And in response, they hit him. And I think that's what happened. Did we counter them? I forgot what happened. But this spiraled into a spy war where we were spy killing all of UU members. Okay, we slaughtered them. Gotcha. We slaughtered them, and then we began killing all of their spies across the whole alliance. And then they started shooting nukes. And so it's over now, but what happened is I think Void Tree tried to approach them for reps or something, and one of their members popped off about me, apparently. I have the log here. So Habib said, I will enter, like in response to reps, he says, I will intervene in one answer here to these words. Ask Thalmor when he was in Black Knights. They also slaughtered our member, and even high-tier guys with reason stopped spying when a member of ours spied them without FA first. Now, here's the thing, though. Like, I was never in Black Knights. So I have no idea what this guy is talking about. So there you go. BKT. He might have been thinking of KT. KT, we might have picked on, because so when I created Knights Templar, this was one of our foreign affairs policies, and it never got used. But the policy, and we listed it on the Alliance page, the policy was we have a permanent CB against Islamic themed alliances because it's the flavor, right? We're a Templar themed alliance. So if you're a Muslim or Islam themed alliance, we have just by default through our themes and the way they synergize, we have a CB on you that exists just because you exist. And I don't think we ever used it. We never fought you, best I can remember. But it's really funny years later as Hand of Fate, where we actually like skirmish with you some, and that's pretty funny. So Hand of Fate launched Operation Desert Storm, and we won, I think. Actually, we might have taken more damage because they shot nukes at us, and we have higher infra rest a little bit. You might have actually done more damage to us than the other way around, as far as I know. But it was still fun. And as far as I know, we stopped spying them. We stopped spying them, but because other people knew we had spied them, other people trying to get their spy stats up also spied them, and they thought, because they had no spies left, they thought it was us fucking with them because they couldn't catch people doing it. And so that was funny, but we've quit spying them, and all the wars are pieced out, and it's over. Operation Desert Storm was a success. We brought the terrorists to justice. Pimpico says, "What if we're still spying them?" I mean, as far as I know, as the ghost in the machine of Hand of Fate's government, I don't think we're doing that. I don't think we're still spying them. Hand across my heart. I don't think you can hear me slapping my chest. Hand across my heart. I don't think we're still spying them. So that was funny. Vass says no comment. I don't think we are. But anyways, speaking of Vass, similar to how Schwinn got on his hands and knees to beg us for help to become cool, Valeni Vass also went to the forums on hands and knees and begged to the community, members of Orbis, the Hand of Fate unhinged meter ticks up every day, and we shouldn't have to be the ones to militarize and cause all of you to panic. So please, just once, do something on your own. Please, there's 6,000 of you. Surely one of you has the cojones to do a little something, just a crumb of something interesting, just a crumb of fun. Don't be a follower, be a leader, become the Giga Chad. I have posted a Giga Chad emoji in the chat. You must look at the Giga Chad, and you must be willing to take decisive action in the Orbiusan landscape to become cool. And I upvoted it because the sentiment is true and genuine. You do something instead of nothing, please. And Pimpinko posted a very helpful graph with a bunch of pretty green lines, and he can post it in chat if he wants. But Pimpinko's message was basically, if you are inside the green lines, quote, you should feel particularly targeted by this post, end quote. And so who is outside of the green lines? The Syndicate, Aurora, the Knights Radiant, Cataclysm, Grumpy, Hand of Fate, Rose, and Guardian. Those are the people outside the green lines. The rest of the game, excluding Camelot, are inside the green lines. Pimpinko is saying, Pampingo, in his humbleness, says it was half serious, half joke, but I think even for a joke, it's generally pretty accurate. I am going 2 steps beyond. I am saying I am interpreting it as not a joke. And I think seriously it works. If you are not one of the anchor communities of the game, Rose, the Syndicate, the Knights Radiant, Aurora, and if you don't have a history of like controversy, like Cataclysm and Camelot, like within those lines, you should be willing to do something. It's a hopeful message. It is a message of you can be better. Yes, your BMI is 30. Yes, your knees hurt to walk. Yes, you have diabetes. Yes, you haven't touched a member of the opposite sex in over a decade. But you're alive now. You can put down the porn and Funko Pops and $7 Walmart chocolate cakes. You can hit the treadmill and eat an apple. And you can aspire to be greater. That is the message Vass imparted unto the community. And Pampingo backed him up and said, these are the motherfuckers who especially need to do more. I am Cajun, I am. And people got mad at Pampingo. People saw this message of hope and said, no, fuck you. And that is really funny. I'm trying to find it. It was Sketchy, Abaddon, and Hodor that got mad. Pampinko and Vast, do you guys have the receipts? I can post the receipts. I can post Hodor's receipt. Hodor said, someone invite Hand of Fate into your group chats so they can feel involved. We tell the community, you can aspire to be greater. You can be a follower. You can be a trendsetter. You can say that Hand of Fate is a lot of things, okay? You can say that we are irrational. You can say that we're good fighters. You can say that we're not like we're good fighters, but we're not politically relevant. You can say that we're racist. You cannot say that we are not trendsetters. Okay? When we militarized last year, everyone got scared. Everyone said, oh fuck, we better switch to 5553 because the hand job of haters are, the crisis level is now at 90%. Okay, we're about to see a full hand job alert across Orbis. We better like lock the doors and turn on the electric fence because like something's about to happen. If it happens to us, our insurance premiums are going to go up. Like that was what happened. And so Vass and Pampinko, arm in arm, come together and say, there are 6,000 of you. There must be one person among you that can become based. And in response to this message, Hodor gets mad. Folks, when you are talking to someone who is not doing what they're supposed to be, and you confront them, if you confront an addict on their addiction, they will get mad. And that is what Hodor is doing. We pierced Hodor's psyche. We revealed to him that he could be more. And in response, he got mad. He is addicted to being mediocre. They rejected the message because we spoke the truth. I just think that's really funny. Especially because Hodor, like, used to be in the Golden Horde and stuff. Like, Hodor's not a nobody. Same thing with Sketchy, too. I don't know why they seem so bothered by this. Because it's like, I don't know. They can aspire to be. Like, Sketchy in particular. Sketchy turned Dark Brotherhood into, like, something, and that's not nothing. Like Paradise is an alliance that I think is trying to be a follower, but he got mad at the message, so I don't know. I don't know if they took the green lines too seriously or what it is. But oh well. Fuck, is that gonna be it for Politics and War? Politics and War, final call. Any final topics for me to go over? Make a My Little Pony themed alliance. I'm not a brony anymore. I have no interest. This was like, I'm 25. My brony stage was when I was like 12, 13. Like literally half my life ago was this. Like, there's a new generation of MLP out. I just don't care. Sleeping Ninja says, since we're on the subject of pleading the community to do something, how long do you think it will be before something actually happens? I think the final naps end in May. So probably May or June, unfortunately. Unless, see, the hand job crisis can actually happen at any moment. Like, the crisis meter doesn't have to be 100% full for a hand job moment to occur. The handout can happen at really any moment. It's just that the possibility increases as the meter ticks up. And right now the meter is at like 15%. It's at 15%. So like it's ticking up gradually. It goes up about 1% every day. So keep that in mind. So the handout moment may happen even before all the naps end. We just have to see. Vax, do you think I'm right? Is the crisis meter at 15%? What do you think it's at? Vax says it's at 70%. You know what? That might actually be right. I might just be way off. It could be higher than that. It could be at 70%. I think my formula was off. It's at 15%, assuming a 1% daily increase. But it might already be at 70, and it's like a point. It's like a 0.5% increase every day. So, be on the lookout. Be on the lookout. But excluding us, it's probably going to be May or June before a war happens. Alti says, I want it to be at 0%. Well, that's too bad. All right. I have 2 real-life topics to go over. I am going to cover them as soberly as possible. Leia Sanders says, is the new D&D movie actually supposed to be good? Me and my friends are going to go see it next weekend and then go play D&D at their house. It's got a lot of money behind it. Best I can tell. It's got a lot of money behind it. It's unlike Cocaine Bear, it is a serious production. We'll see. It's supposed to be good. I haven't heard any reviews. It looked kind of gimmicky. The humor seemed kind of slapstick. But we'll see what happens. KY says, big facts, I want to learn how to play Dungeons & Dragons. I was going to say Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, guys, like here's the thing. I play Warhammer 40,000 tabletop. I play Magic the Gathering, and I play Dungeons and Dragons. So all of the nerd shit, like it's all directly injected into my veins. I am on that nerd shit. Dungeons and Dragons is my least favorite of the two. I think Magic is my favorite. Magic and Warhammer are about tied. Dungeons and Dragons is my least favorite of the three. I live in rural bumfuck Kentucky, by the way. I have been able to find people in rural bumfuck Kentucky to do all three of these things with. So there is no excuse why you can't find people to play these games with, by the way. On your grass-touching endeavors. I hope my grass-touching has inspired you all to touch grass. If I can do it in bumfuck Kentucky, surely some of you can. I don't paint them, Zig. I play Imperial Guard. I buy used minis off of eBay that are already painted. What else would you do in rural Kentucky? Drugs? You can go to the gym and work out. You can go to church. You can go to the park. You can fish. You can go to downtown restaurants. You can. It's a short list after that. I don't. My small town is like it's a county of 20,000 people, but the town is weird. It has an airport. It has a regional hospital. It has a university. Like it's a small town, but there's like a crazy good amount of stuff to do. The subway is downtown, but there's like 5 other restaurants too. It's crazy. Did I just say this? Did I just dox myself? I just doxed myself. I just gave the name of the town. Well, that's okay. Danville's a nice town. There's a lot to do, although I don't know. The population is small, but there's still a lot to do. Oh well. The good thing is that the politics and war community is not unhinged, so I can say the name of my town and not really worry about it. I actually Center College turned me down. I applied to Center College and they rejected my application. So I have a permanent fatwa against Center College. At any point in my life, if I am asked to donate money to Center, I'm going to tell them, I already have my line rehearsed. I'm going to tell them, Center College did not think that I needed to be a part of the student body. So therefore, I do not think Center College needs my financial resources. I'm going to dunk on that donation collector who is completely blameless so hard. I'll see you too, Lysander. We can go eat at Copper and Oak. Actually, Copper and Oak had a drag show, so I'm never going to eat there. We can go eat at the Pizza Pub. They have the best pizza in the county. We can go eat at the Pizza Pub. Bluegrass Pizza and Pub. It's a good place. All right. I got 2 real life topics. I'm going to present them with minimal commentary. Number 1, Trump got indicted. Number 1, based. Number 2, it's out of New York, and I've heard 2 things. I've heard that he's been indicted by the grand jury on campaign finance misconduct because he gave hush money to Stormy Daniels, and he listed as like a campaign expense, and that's a no-no. I've also heard it was business stuff, so I don't know what the deal is. Zig lives in Kentucky. If anyone's gonna come see me, it's gonna be him. Danville has a hot dog place? Actually, yeah, I think it does. I think the hot dog place used to be next to the subway. Funny enough, but anyways, Trump got indicted. My commentary is this: I don't really care. I don't like Trump anymore. I think it's a political stunt because they're trying to hurt Trump's. They don't want him to run. If they can get him to be a felon, I don't think he can run or hold office. One of the two. But I just don't really care. To me, what's important is that there are tens of millions of Trump supporters who do care. And to me, anything that undermines faith in the courts, in prosecutors, and in the system, to be vague, is a good thing to me, because I despise. It's gonna sound mean. I despise like law enforcement, the prosecutors, and so, and just the government in general. So I think this undermines faith in the system, and I think that's a good thing. Because the left already hates the system, right? Defund the police. So for the boomers to also be like defund the police, that's like awesome. That's basically all. That's all I care about. The second thing I want to talk about is the Nashville shooting. To be transparent, all of the circumstances around it got me really heated. Like, I was genuinely unhinged earlier this week. I was actually kind of insane. I actually had to delete the real life chat because I popped off way too hard. I didn't want people who really cared to get mad at me for what I was saying and report me to Discord and like get me banned or the server banned. So I actually purged the real life chat and recreated a new one. So the reason why it bothered me so much, in big part, is because I live in Kentucky. This was in Tennessee. I've spent a lot of time in Tennessee in my life, actually. Not in Nashville, but in northern Tennessee. And northeast Tennessee, specifically. And I attended a small Christian school. And the rhetoric prior to the shooting was, from the trans community, was that there should be a day of vengeance because Tennessee passed a law that said kids cannot transition. Kids cannot make these life-altering medical decisions. In Kentucky, just this week, I think Wednesday, also did the same. They passed a similar law that said kids can transition. I think West Virginia did as well. So Kentucky and Tennessee are similar. Kentucky and Tennessee passed the same law. It was a small Christian school that got shut up. And I, throughout from second grade to graduation, I attended two different small private schools. So to me, and I'm a Christian, and as a Christian, I care very deeply about like my fellow brothers and sisters in the faith. So for a shooting to happen at a Christian school, that really that cut me deeply.